All right, looks like I am streaming right now. There we go. Let's bring up the video feed. Not that one. I'm missing some data, but right now what I'm planning on working on is just design time. I'm not likely to be doing code today. This is some of the last designs that need to be in before I can release the game. So let's see, YouTube Studio. All right, so I have the car traffic and that's baked, and the speed of the baking is really good right now. So let's go to content and live and take me to the feed. All right, so I've got the procedural traffic. Oh, but I don't want that one to, I don't want to focus on that right now. I need to create a new set of traffic. So a new designer set. This one is going to be truck traffic. Truck traffic. Yeah, as is. And then I'll need one more, which is going to be Vigilante baked traffic, which is going to be truck traffic baked. All right. Now on this one, I need to put in the truck baked traffic over here. There. Does that clear this up, or was there a separate problem coming up with the errors? Okay, it's unhappy about something in here because something has not been instantiated properly. Let's go into the code for line 141 of baked traffic. All right, baked traffic, line 141 is somewhere over here. On before deserialize. Okay, so in this case, it's suggesting that something is null. 141. Considering this one's newly constructed, this suggests that nodes is empty. Let's take a look at nodes initialization. Nodes does initialize as nothing. So, all right. So if it's not set to anything, I do need a piece of code here to deal with that. All right. So if nodes, if not nodes, return. Nothing special to do if nodes doesn't exist. This dot. Okay, I thought that would do a null check. Equals null. All right, that should escape that particular error. So I guess I was doing some code. Ah, hello. Okay, so today is all about doing getting the truck lines in. I'm done with code for the large aspect of it. I may put in a couple steps towards audio later, and but the key thing is I need truck lines, and I need to do some basic design stuff now. All right, so let me get the traffic designer set up with the new one. So this one's going to use procedural traffic. I need truck traffic. And then this one will use the same truck traffic. There we go. Which currently has nothing. Clear. Where's the start of the world? There. So I need to start putting in some truck traffic. And I was also figuring putting in a couple landmarks, but I feel like the landmarks can wait. So there's the end point. There we go. All right, now I want to make this a faster setup for the truck traffic. So maybe I should put in one change to the traffic tools. When I create a new one, I think I'll set it up to automatically select the previous. Actually, I'm going to do a little code here. Traffic designer. All right, so in the traffic designer, we've got a couple options, and I want a Boolean option in this. Where do we have settings? Public bool. And for this one, I want to set it up so that if I add a new node, it'll connect to my previously selected node. and then select the new node that I created. That way I can just start adding them in a long succession, and I can wire them up and connect them at the end. All right, so public bool render distance, public bool auto connect new. Okay, so auto connect new is in there. Now I need node add. All right, node add. This is where we add the node, but I want to do something in here too. So we're setting the selected index. Before I change the selected index, I need to connect them or check to connect them. If settings dot auto connect new. Automatically connect new to existing. All right, if auto connect new and settings dot traffic data, what is it? No, and debugging dot selected node index does not equal -1. All right, so if we're set up to auto connect and we have something selected, so 0 or above, then we're automatically going to connect the new node to the existing one. All right, so to do that, we need the existing node. In this case, we've just added a node. And given the setup, I'm going to generate this one as its own object. Control X and go var node equals there. Okay, next, in this one, we add the node. Done. What type of data is nodes? It's a ref list. Why am I doing that there then? All right, so instead of this, we're going to say add default. Ref var node equals, and then we're going to paste this at the end. Control X. Ref. Node already exists. That's fine. These two fields, Control X and Control V, node dot. And get rid of the original. Insert, delete. Okay, so we've got the node, and now in this case, we want to set this up against the existing node. So we need the previous node, var previous. I'll call it, yeah, previous node equals ref var previous node equals ref settings dot which one does it need? Traffic data dot nodes dot, oh, and in this case, we just grab the node index that we need, which was debugging dot selected node index. Okay, so now we've got both nodes. Now we can connect them automatically. So in this case, we only need, we're in the designer data, which the designer data only needs a connection going one direction. All right, so ref. Oh, in this case, how do we add the connections? So we have a node. In other words, we generate the node. Now we need the connection for them, which I'm guessing is actually the selected index. Okay, let's look at connect. node connect. Okay, so in this case, we have highlight index and, oh, we're trying to get closest node to mouse. Well, we don't need that one here. We get the two values. This is what I'm looking for, that one. So basically, I create the node that I did before, but then I create the connection between them. So I don't actually need the previous node. I just need to know its index. All right. So in that case, I can get rid of this. Yes. Okay, so now we create a new index map and add it, and the A connection is going to be the debugging.selected node index, and the new one is going to be this. Control C, V. Okay, that was all. I didn't actually need to generate a new node. But this only executes if we have auto connect new on. All right, perfect. Wait, undo record state. Doesn't this need to know a value that goes along with it? No, it just records the undo state. Oh, this is a function directly in here. F12. State name. Is this string name? Okay, so object to undo. So it's already passing in the data and giving you the name. Good. Okay, so now I theoretically have a faster functioning design tool. So to begin with, we've got data. I don't want to generate data in this case. I'm going to turn that one off. Why does disabling the script require... Oh, I just compiled. I just made changes to the code, and it happened to catch up at the same time. All right. We'll leave that one gone for the time being. Now we need to start working with the data. Control Shift B, and now I need Z to add. So we'll start here. Control Shift B, yeah. And now Z. Why can't I see anything? There, do I have gizmos disabled? No. Did I break the tooling somehow? All right, Z, add noted cursor. So select this off, Control Shift B to select the traffic node structure, and then Z, 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 Z. That is really weird. Why is nothing happening here? No. Okay, I don't have any message popping up. I'm going to have to get that one up there. So let's go over to my code, not the data. In this one, what do I want? Traffic designer. And in, oh, I need the truck traffic. I might as well set that up to the correct data now. So this one is going to truck traffic, save all, and get over to the scene, not the scene. I need the truck prefab. So prefabs, tractor. And now inside of here, scrolling down, we got the traffic car procedural, traffic baked. That's car traffic. I need the truck traffic. There. Now it's done. All right. Close this one up. Control S. Wait, did I just... Yeah, I made changes to the root object, to the root prefab. All right, so again, I'm still missing data. So let's get back over to here. One more try. I'll try this again. Control Shift B and Z, Z, Z. Z is not adding the item. It is detecting that I'm pressing Z. Okay, now let's find out why that's not working. Script time. Vigilante 41, and then inside of this one we are in the truck designer tools. We have node add. This one I'm going to put a node call up at the front. Control C, and let's put this here and do dot one, and this one will be dot two. Now there's nothing in here that does an early exit. There's no return statement. So if it doesn't error out of this code, it should be labeling the first one. The second thing is, where is the caller of this? That is up here. Why did he get a line break? Okay, no, that stays there. That's fine. Scrolling took a lot longer than I expected. Okay, I just had spacing there. That's cool. All right, so node add. At this point, I want to detect that we have a key pressed, and I want to know what key it is. So in this case, debug.log. Which one is this? Traffic designer dot key down event plus key code. C.keycode. Okay, so that should identify the code that was run. Z is supposed to add the node. All right, so I've got a couple debug logs that'll show up inside the game now once the game compiles. So somewhere along the way, I broke the traffic designer, or I've got something in some weird state that it just isn't liking here. Maybe procedural traffic designer messed with this when I started adding that because I didn't go back to the manual testing except for existing items. Maybe I can't add a starting item to this if the data is null, but I should get an exception here. If it's trying to do anything with the data and the data is null, it should fail. Okay. That's not a failure. Let's try this again. Control Shift B, select something, Control Shift B, and now Z, 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 Z. Nothing. All right. No messages, no alerts, no warnings. Yeah, these have nothing to do with it. Oh, it doesn't even register the key press. Did events get deleted? Event system is still here. Okay. That is just fine. That's okay. So I'm not even getting this part triggered. On scene GUI. Is there? Let's overload the debug logs. Debug.log. All right, we got that thing in there too now. So literally the on-scene GUI is supposed to throw a debug log just to see that we've even gotten into there. All right, that is updated. Oh, what did I just leave off doing? Debug log. Okay, so play. No, not play. Why would it need that? V. Control Shift B. Okay, we got keys showing up inside of here on scene GUI debug log object. What am I writing? Object. Oh, right. Object, the Unity debug log object. That's the command that was called. And then over here we have traffic designer on scene GUI. That's the code I just executed. All right. So we got stuff showing up. Now let's press Z. Control Shift B. Z. Okay. Key down event Z happened. A lot of moves there. Can I like filter out a keyword or something? Okay, yeah, I get that we got to there. We also got to here. Once we get to here, though, it's like we didn't get to this. We saw the key code equals Z, though. Dot Z. Didn't we? Oh, okay, it only shows the end. So key code down event Z, we did press it. Okay. Now, if node add was called, in this case, designer debugging key held down. Maybe something's broken there. C.key code equals designer debugging key held down. Plus slash plus. Let's see what this one is. Okay, now let's get a little bit more of an error into there. Maybe that other conditional is what's failing because it gets up to that right before that condition, and then after it, it's not executing the next debug logs. So inside of here, Control Shift B and Z, it got it. Okay. So we get both sides of this, Z slash none and none slash Z. Okay. And let's put in another debug log. Control C, and over here, we're going to put it after this. Dot 2. I wish debugging worked better. Like debugging directly against a line to say, did we get to here? But we've got like this continuous feed of errors, and I can't block Unity from that one. I know that I can put in like statements in there to say like if this condition is true, then trigger the break. But I don't know. It feels like we need something more. All right. So now let's go to here, Control Shift B and Z. We never got a 2. Okay. So we never got a key to, oh, I'm holding the Z down. Okay. Z. Oh, that's all the way. Back up here, Control Shift B and Z. I saw a 2. Dot 2. So we do get past it. Yet the add node doesn't get executed. Okay, so in this case, these ones, we only get past it if we got past it because we hit a character, theoretically. So let's put a debug log in here and freeze it on this one. Make sure we're actually getting to what we're expecting. I should be getting here. Let's also add one up here just in case. Okay, Control S. Back into Unity. Got it. All right, now, what did I do? Did I run the game? No, I just returned to Unity. So this one now goes to attach to Unity Editor. While that's over there, we're going to start triggering this until it pauses. Control Shift B. Gotcha. Okay, now Z, Z. Did this Z, Z, Z. Okay, they're hooked into there. Okay, so key code equals Z, yes. And then, okay, so key held down, none. So neither one of those statements are true, which means the next statement should land me here. So let's go over to the next line. Okay, good. And we're still looking at key code of Z. So that should make us get us down to this other line. Continue. All right. Now in this one, what's the commands to get me to the next line inside of here? I want to move to the next line. That's probably down here. All right. Step over, step into F11. Cool. All right. F11. What? What just. Oh, wow. You really step into this. No, I don't need all of that stuff. F10. Key code Z. Now F11. And we get to this line. Node add dot one. Of course we never get this line to fire. That's a undo state. How did I get that one up? Stop debug.log. Okay, back. Another nice obvious fail reason. All right, what do we got? Select into here, Control Shift B, Z. I'll get rid of the dot two. Why don't I have anything happening here? Control Shift B. Okay, good. It highlighted this time. Z. Node.add one. It got to node.add one. It actually called it twice. That's because both sides are one. So it called this one. But most likely it called the other one in there. Okay, so theoretically this got added, but I'm not able to see anything. Do I have a rendering option that's turned off? Or a count? I think I put both of those options in there. Auto reconnect. I need to be able to see the data. So inside of here, render distance 707.48. That should be fine. Auto connect new. Not doing that yet. What's preventing it from drawing this one? All right, let's go into here and let's go to traffic. Traffic designer is set to show up. Traffic designer. All right, so now in the draw code, we do have variables showing up in here. Mappings. I got a couple zeros in there. We have two elements in mappings. Mappings is not getting any reasonable data. Why? Distance from surface. That should be something like 6. Am I looking at baked? I'm looking at baked. No, I'm not looking. I'm looking at regular. Okay, so traffic, and in this one, the baked data doesn't have anything. Distance from surface, let's put 6 for trucks. All right, capacity, length. That data looks correct. Why do I have mappings of 0? Okay, that does suggest that the mappings are screwed up. All right, let's go back for a second and make sure the other one. What? They all just appeared. What is different now? Okay, so Control Shift B. They're all in here. And now it just disappeared. Why? And now they came back. Okay, let's start deleting stuff. V and B. So VB, VB, VB. Okay, now let's add a new one. I'm going to put Z over here. Okay, that worked. Now let's auto connect and zoom out. What are these guys? It's like it's supposed to remove this one, but it can't. Let's bake that data. Okay. All right. How about this one? Can I select this one? Both of these are showing as not being able to edit or alter them. Okay, so something is seriously wrong, and I don't need to set this one. I'm getting a lot of noise from that particular function, or debug log. So I made no change, and suddenly the system started working. Or did I? No, I selected Auto Connect New. Okay, I can select this one now. B to remove. There, so we're two in the same place. All right, now V for this one. X marks the spot to here. All right, that makes sure that it stays there. Now we're going to select this one. And let's zoom out. And let's start adding new ones. It just disappeared. Let's add a new one anyway. Okay, that worked. All right. Now, let's put the same thing. I don't want a truck line going through there. I'm going to keep this on major routes only. So we're going to put one here. Where's that one? All right, now on this one, I need to connect the next one, which is C. There. All right, now from this end, V. Okay, design tools are up. I'll put one up here. I need to start getting them to each of the axes of the game. Or each of the axis of the city. This is not easy to see right now. Let's go to this mode. That's easier. Let's also expand this out so I can see more of what's going on. All right, now let's put one up here. What is that? Z. Oh, wrong spot. We're going to delete that one. So that one is B. V to select. B. Oh, I got rid of the other one. Okay, fine. V. And I still haven't gotten undos to work on this one properly. Okay, so now we got C, V. Oh yeah, I need the new one. It auto connects, so that is Z. And then over here, we're going to connect it to this one, C. And now we're going to connect it to up here. What is this one? Z, 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 and Z. Where does this go? This goes off that way. All right, let's use it. All right, so let's go around. We're going to go to Z there, Z there. Hey, I lost the connection. That was interesting. Distance. I can't see it. It's too far away. Okay, now that I got this one, I need a longer render distance. So we're just going to go stretch that one out pretty far. There we go. All right, let's get these one connected, which we will connect it over to here. Z, we'll connect it up to this way as well. Z and C to that one. Okay, we'll also take this one, V, and we're going to connect it to here. No, we'll connect it to here. Does this connect to the road directly? Pretty close. Let's take that one. Okay, so V, X marks the spot to here. No, let's go right there. Yeah, sure. Let's bring it right up to the surface edge there. And let's put another one here, Z. There. Z. The truck should be able to make it up that one. How far does that go through? All right, we'll use this lake here to wrap around as well. It cuts off on this spot though because of this building that stuffed its way in the way. All right, so now we got this. Let's add new ones. We'll put another one over here to, what is this one? Z. And Z. I will qualify that as a connection point. So let's add these up. Z. All right. Z and Z. Z, Z, and then connect to this one, C. Highlight it and over to here. Connect to this one. All right. So that gives us a map around this particular area. Any spots to extend it off in these directions. This is a little hard to operate. The Unity camera is always designed that up is the natural up, so Y of up, and it doesn't have something to realign its gravity as far as I'm aware. Maybe I need to create a design tool that allows the editor camera to operate like that, because I could always manually adjust the rotation myself. I just need a way to then figure out what its rotation should be. Okay, so we can easily make it to this wall with the trucks. What does this wall do? It goes up that way, and it goes down here. That gets a little complicated. Where did I just go? Okay, there we are. Okay, check it out. We got another map down here that's in good shape. And I've got a pathway that goes right through here. All right, so let's connect to this one. V, and we're going to remove the connection to this one, which is N. All right, now do we already have it selected? We do. So next one, we're going to select this one and put it right. Is there a building right there? Okay, yeah, that's fine. I want to bring it here. So now let's put one there and now connect that down to this one, C. And now here, we're going to connect down to this area as well. Okay, so the primary routes for trucks are going to follow along the water's edge. That is workable. Now, do we have any weird buildings sets here? No. Go to C. Oh, there is no C. Or it tried connecting to itself, but there's nothing special happening there. All right. Let's make sure I've got the correct angle. The textures make it a little weird to follow in here. Okay, that should be fine. So now Z, Z, Z. Okay. All right, so now let's put one over here. Let's go Z, Z. Z, Z. We can get to the inner track of that one as well. Ooh, a lot of waterways here. It's a good truck route. All right, Z, 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 and Z. That was blocked. No, it's not. Just looked like it for a second. All right. Z, 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 Z. The letters I'm saying are the hotkeys I created for generating the waypoints. Let's cross connect them this way. No, we'll go straight across. So over here, what do we have? C, V, C. Okay, that one's connected up now. V will continue from this side. We got the route blocked here. Yeah, that actually is blocked. Should I go up and around? No, I'll reroute the traffic over here. Okay, so now we have Z, Z. What are these? Is that another semi-route? Ah, this is so hard to navigate. Okay, not a good semi-route. How about this one? Also no, thins out really fast. All right, so those do not make good ones. We're going to connect directly to here. Okay. Oh, this inside island doesn't have anything. Let's give it something. Anything that connects across here? No. Let's take care of these ones while we're here. Let's go to V and C, V and C. Same thing over here. V, C, V, C. All right, let's do a save all data and then bake. Bake took 0 seconds. I like that. Okay, anything else this way that I missed? No, that's all closed off. Those bridges are connected. Those bridge lines are connected. Connected. This island is not connected. Let's get this island connected. All right, so over here, V, Z, Z, Z. What's this one? C. What is this? C. Okay, I've got a truck route connected through here. Then I've got water again over that way. Hey, why did I lose my stuff? Control Shift B. Okay, I got the lines up again. Do I have a route to make it through here over to that water? Kind of dead ends in the city sections. Does it just get cut off at this building? Oh, that's a building that goes all the way through. That's actually a really good spot to make sure I have a bridge connecting it. Okay, what's my traffic route for the trucks? That sucks. I need a wide area for them to make it through. This area, though, that seems good for trucks to pass by. Is there any bridge across this water? There is not. And that was a gap. Yeah, that's a gap where there's supposed to be something here that is not, and so there's a big hole in the world. All right. This route here. We've also got this one. The truck routes don't all need to have direct interconnections because these areas are a little bit painful to navigate for that. How about this? Is there a way through here? There's a building right here. Can I go over the building? That one would be painful to go over. Oh, what's this? Oh, that one does go down and through. Okay. Does the top have truck lines? No. Or waterways? Nothing. We're getting farther out towards the suburbs, I guess. But that means that races are going to be better in this area because there's more negotiation of the environment. All right, truckways. We've got this. Anything on that side? That's got a route. That one does not. What's this one? Just sitting here on its own. Okay. And no direct route to get there? This one's kind of wide, at least until it gets to this building edge right here, where that ends up overlapping, and then we end up having an underside of the building that makes no sense. Can I remove that one? Okay. That fixed it. Now I got a pathway through. All right. Yay. Control Shift B. Now that also means to select this one, V, and now we're going to remove the connection. Where is the crease, the fold to get to this side? All right, right here. All right, stay on that route. We'll connect to here and to here and up. Okay, several in succession. That stuff gets cut off too. Oh, wait, I can All right, C. No. V to select. Z, Z, and C. Okay, that line's connected. What else have I got for major routes? There's a waterway that's over here. I still want this bridge to connect. I have nothing that does it yet, though. So I've got this route. Where's the bridge? That's this one. Okay, I had no bridge over here. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. We'll borrow a building. Control C. No, we'll do a Control D it. Oh, I'm deleting buildings. These are going to be where cars show up. Whatever. I can rebuild the car traffic. That's easy. All right. So R. Okay, can I drop it down just a little bit more? There. And up just a little bit more to snap it more, almost overlapping, but not quite. There. Drag that over to seal the gap there. Done. Okay. That gives me a bridge to connect the environments across. Be excellent. Okay, be excellent to each other. V. And let's disconnect this one. It's going to be N. And instead, we're going to go to here. That's Z, Z, Z. This is now a bridge. We've got access to the bridge that goes across, which is something I was hoping to connect in the design. Select this one as well. Let's just delete it. B. Okay, next. C, no, V. And now F. Not F. What's the pathway over here? Let's go to Z, connect it, and connect it here as well. We don't need to go all the way to the corner. Actually, let's do that. What is this one? Z and C. Okay, so now that I got that, I need to develop a route to get all the way to the top. What do we have for small buildings? I just want a small building. Oh, I see. I don't have a small one like that. That's small city blocks. That'll do. All right, Control D. We're going to move you over. Hey, can I get snap on here? Okay. Use align rotation, use align position. All right, can we move you? So this is another one of my design tools. Oh, this actually works nice if I use it even just while I'm scrolling around. but I effectively just want a connection point going across here, preferably like this over. So let's go to this. All right. Now let's turn snap off. That actually worked out a lot better than I had expected. Okay, now we're going to move this down. How far can we go down? Okay, that's reasonable. Next, do we have a gap? Not noticeable. Next, we're going to put in one more. Control D, and let's turn snap on. Connect it over here. I need to make that bridge. All right, now we're going to move this out just a little bit. No, not that way. This way. Oh, I've still got the snap on. Right about there sounds good. Turn snap off. Now I can align it with these. Okay, and now we're going to do a little bit of scaling. Yes. Okay, I do need to thin this out though. So let's go back to scaling and reduce the scaling on that side. There. All right. That doesn't work. That's too big of a hop there. That could be solved by this though. We're going to go up to the transform tool, rect transform tool. Align that down until it crosses. Perfect. I'll take that. Oh, next, Control Shift B. Yay. I have a traffic crossing point, and that can cross me onto there, and I can also spin around this, I believe around the middle. All right, so now let's connect these ones in. Hmm. Yeah, I was sitting here considering how to do the design route. In this case, I'm just going to remove the connection. I was overthinking it at first, like considering like how are the trucks going to move, what are the natural routes going to be. But I don't need that. Let's see. Let's remove the connection from this side. B. Oh, what? I just removed that corner. Okay, that was more than I intended to do. Okay, so Z and Z, and let's connect these across to C and C. And now we're going to go to V, C, Z, C. Oh, whoops, wrong one. Okay, let's disconnect from this one. Which one is that? Remove connection, N. There. Now I need to connect it to here, C. Okay, good. I can take this route now. This is the only route. That's right, because the other sides have all the edges in. So this is going to be the way that we connect the trucks across. Cars can take whatever they want. All right, now we go over to here. Control Shift there. I've got that one highlighted, so now let's make the connection here. Z, Z, Z. Z. Okay, we got two routes to split off to now. Let's go over to here. Z, Z. What's going on up there? That's pretty busy. Oh, we got a gap in the end of the world here. All right. Do I have something I can patch that up with? Maybe an entire city block? There we go. Control D, and let's throw a snap on this one. Snap, snap align position and rotation, and now let's just go there. All right, now move this one in. Oh, let's connect it to that side. That should be flat. Cool. Now turn snap off and move it down just a little bit. Actually, I could connect it to here. Okay, that closes off the area and also adds some additional points in here that close things off. Okay. So we get a tunnel that goes through there. Small one for cars. Okay, I can use this one. It gives me a point to circle around for here. Okay, now Control Shift B. We got the path route over there. All right, that connects around. Wait, where do you go? I must have created that one without something else selected. Oh, the other point was just too far away. All right, that's cool. I accept that. There, yeah, it loses it. All right, that's fine. Was there a path on the other side? There is. That one's cut off pretty fast, pretty heavily though. All right, I'm gonna skip that one. We have our waterway down here, which is empty. This is actually the one where water should be, but we have no water. Hey, does this actually have water in Zone A? It doesn't. This one has empty water. All right. Or I accidentally deleted it before. Okay, Control Shift B. Where are we? Oh, actually, that might be a good spot to connect because we got this thing right here. And then I can connect that up and on the underside and connect it over to that route. We have a tunnel over here that would lead us off to more spots in the world. No, we don't have a tunnel. We can follow this thing to either logical end. like right here. Well, that's a reasonable connection point right there. And what's all this? We've got a large pathway here. All right, let's select that one. V. We'll add one here. Z. And connect another Z right there, and that's connected now. Let's also connect it to here. All right, so we got that traffic route over here. V, how do you connect? We're going to connect to this one. Z, 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 and Z. Oh, B, V, and C. There. Okay, that's connected over now. Do I have another? I can connect to that route from here. I connect to that one from there. I go to this one. I can cross over the top of this. The only thing I don't have is a connection over here now. Okay, where's one of the buildings I can use? That's this type. No, not in that case. Oh, I'll take that one. Control C. Control D. Add snap. Add everything. And now let's move it to here. There you go. No, that was wrong. Okay, now that I've got that rotated and set, let's turn snap off. I'm going to embed this one a little farther here, and then let's give it some scale. And position. There, and let's align it a little bit more that way. Okay, that crosses over this building angle with this one and merges the pathway, so I now have a new path, or access to a new path. All right, now where is my city? Over here. Control-Shift-B. We're going to select that one. Ooh, let's just put them both up here. Nah, whatever. I'll just do that one. All right, next. Now, where's the good crossover point on this building? It's probably several points. Oh, right here is actually a good one. I just need to reorient this position. So let's put that over here. Oh, let's put it right here. There. Wait, there's a surface here. Oh, I was getting cut off on that thing. Okay, that's fine. All right, that one just has a crossover. That works. Z and Z? No. Cool. Anything about this side for passing here? Is that the side that was... That's the side with the... No, it's not. Okay. The path is up here, which connects it to... Wait. If I've got a connection over there, let's put the connection over here. C. Wait, what happened to the other connections here? Close enough. Well, I don't want it to... That one's selected. We're going to go over to this one and unselect it. So that is N. And now we're going to connect to this one. There. Okay, so somewhere along the line we lost that connection, and now that's back in place. All right, cool. And since this one connects over like that, let's move this connection to, say, here. All right, what's happening down there? Okay, let's disconnect that one. All right. I don't have anything in here that tells me if I'm missing any ends, but at the same time, just looking at this, I can see that I've gotten a decent amount of area. This also tells me that I don't have any truck areas at the top, which is fine. That won't be a truck traffic rich area. However, this one will be a highly truck traffic rich area. I'll need a couple more things. I need more mechanic shops, but oh yeah, we're going to bake this. The truck traffic, now has to use this data. Truck traffic baked, perfect. And the prefab I already set up. Control Shift, Control S twice. Okay, that is saved. I think I've got the truck routes clear. Let's make sure it runs and that I get truck routes as I'm traveling through to the various ones. Let's put some more trucks in as well. We've got what, I think 4 right now. Pool count 4. Let's up that to 8. Pool count 8. Sure. Play. AI. Oh, that's right. They added their new one. All right. Traffic system is complaining of a null reference exception. Why? Traffic.nodes.length. Why doesn't it think it has traffic? What type of traffic is this looking at? Baked traffic. This is in the traffic system back into Unity. That's in car traffic. Oh, yeah, it doesn't. All right, stop. Missing. We were missing this one. Baked car traffic. Cool. Oh, I also need the designer. What the heck are you doing? Get rid of the other two. We're going up to this one. Okay, now in this one, I need to put in the original car traffic data because I do have some new city structure areas and I need to get rid of those or heal the mesh for it. So in this one, what have we got? What? Oh, yeah, select it. Procedural traffic. And then in this one, we're going to do the same thing. Procedural traffic. Yes, I can see it's all highlighted now. Great. Let's go find them all. Okay. Took 3.2 seconds, and then bake it. 0.164 seconds. Nice. Okay, save it, and now let's go play. I don't have mechanic shops and I don't have races anywhere else in the game. I need to get those. I did put one race very close to the beginning where you start, so you can see that, but then more races are going to be found as you start exploring the game. All right, enter. Okay, I got a truck right next to me immediately. Now, as I move over here, I can see the trucks show up in my map view. All right, let's get closer. I'm right next to a truck node, like right here is a truck node. Okay, I'm getting more cars to show up. A truck route should be able to follow along here. I'm not seeing trucks. Oh, how many does it try to get in here? Where is my truck traffic? Distance per car. Radius. What? Pool count. Pool and active. These two traffic systems still use different setups. The truck traffic doesn't have... Okay, I do need to fix the truck traffic system. So inside of the traffic systems on these, I've got, for the car traffic, as I move through an area, cars that are far enough away from me get returned to the pool. And then it starts just taking 20 attempts per turn, I think was, yeah, maximum time 20 tries per frame to grab a random node from anywhere in the world. And if it is within a visible radius of me, or if it's within a certain range of me, then it will put one of the cars from the pool if any are available. And it also only does that if there are cars in the pool available. The trucks don't have that. This uses traffic system. The other one uses truck traffic system. All right, so I've got a couple changes here. Let's go Alt-Enter. No, not Alt-Enter. Control-Enter. No, not what I wanted. Okay, fine. Just drag this over here. All right, traffic system and truck traffic system. Let's check out what's going on. So, copy buffer. What? What am I doing here with this? What is this line doing? Oh, on awake, this was copying the traffic system? That serves no purpose to me right now. I think that must have been for testing. All right. Okay, next we have pool and active. So let's also create the same thing here. So pool and active, and then we have pool count, and we should have an active count. No. Pool count is the only one that's there. So now let's create this, Control CVV, and this one is called active. All right. The two systems should act largely the same. The only difference is that these also act as the factories for the cars, which would make more logical sense that I create that factory somewhere else. But at this point, I only have two factories for constructing the cars. That's not a big deal to me. I also have a factory for creating the construction nodes, but that's actually produced here as well. So in the truck traffic system. All right, so create car. We also add the trailer cars. We add the connectors between them. All right, let's see. What are we doing? Add trailer car. Then we set up the car. Set up the car is giving it its next target, which we are taking care of at this point. All right, create car. And the reason I did that is because the pool system also wants to reinstantiate the cars. Okay, that means that when the distance, okay, during the update, that's it. During the update, we're checking our status on these to see, do we have this many? Yeah, we're checking to see if we need to add any based on the active updates. So if we have ones that are this dot active. Oh yeah, we're checking first to see if there are ones to get rid of. Let's just copy this whole thing over because I think that one's going to carry over just fine. What is this? Yeah, let's get both of these lines. Control C. And then down here, we're going to paste this one in. I think the functions are going to end up largely the same. So Alt Enter. What? What are you missing to do this one? Alt Enter. Oh, okay. Thank you. Now I don't have this dot player car. Let's put that one in there. Public car player car. I'll have to make a reference to that. All right. Awake sets up. We generate all of the cars immediately. That was something I was okay. So with this one, we're just adding them to the pool. We don't generate them yet. So that was part of the point of what's going on. When we first generate them, all we're doing is at the beginning of the scene, we add all of the ones that go to the pool. Here we go again. Back to code. All right. So far, nothing super impressive. I'm mostly just copying over the existing state of the other code. And I don't, yeah, I need this extra connection stuff, but that's really the only difference. I don't want to bother working out too much to have to combine it. Let's just make this one work. Okay, so first off, we've got create car and setup car. So let's create a separate function here. Public void setup car. What did this need? This needed traffic car. This needs tractor. Is this also using traffic car? That's what the first one uses, traffic car. Yeah. The front of the truck uses traffic car. All right, so that's car, comma, baked traffic dot node n. All right. Oh, and every time that one comes back, we'll already have the truck instantiated, but when one gets regenerated, we need new instances of the tractors. No, of the freight. Okay, the freight is a different system on this one, but freight is still managed within this one because technically the freight just gets carried by the cars. When I instantiate them, I do need to instantiate this stuff. Okay, I need to instantiate the trucks. And when those get created, do these generate? Get the component truck connector. When I instantiate the prefab already has the other items attached to it. Let me double check that. So if I go to here, I'm going to stop the code. Let's go to the prefabs. Prefabs inside of here, we go over to tractor, which is just the tractor by itself. Now we need a trailer car that's got the freight already built in. Same thing with trailer caboose, already has it built in. So in this case, this suggests that I need to either recreate the system for generating that, or I'm going to take a hit on instantiating the trailer car and the trailer caboose every time the car comes back. It'll just have the first part of it. Okay, I'm going to go with that route. Okay, so on this one, we add the other stuff, but then setup car needs to be the one that does the rest of it. It generates the trailers that we're going to put onto here. And those need to get destroyed inside of this as well. So I have a couple things to take care of with this. Let me double check that. Yeah, so if I have the caboose, if I have the base item that I generate and I destroy that one, it will destroy any of the freight that's still attached to it. All right, good. Let's go with it. Trailer caboose and trailer car. Cool. Setup car. And now this is going to be, oh, let's do it this way. Grab all this stuff. Control X. We're going to add it here. Good. Return car. It doesn't need to return anything here. Delete. Okay, now we do need to make something enabled in this case. So when we set up the car, we set up the range, look at position, car to waypoint. Where do we actually make it visible? We set it active here, or we set it inactive here. Where do we set it active? Set active false. When we generate it here, why do we do it down here? I'm going to remove that from this. What did that just do? Okay. Where did that go? Set active true. So at this point, we're interacting with the pool, and we call setup car. X. All right. Setup car doesn't get called right away. When we create the car, it tells it to set it up, but then it disables that right away. Okay. So I think that's the point. We'll do it over here too. So this is going to be one of the last things in here. We tell it to enable it. So setup car is kind of our restore from pool. Oh, and I just edited this in the car side. Oh, well. Now let's do the same thing over here. Max retries per frame. I still need that one. Let's get that one up there too. Public int max retries per frame equals 20. That's nice. I like that it tells me the numbers for the prefabs here so I can see the numbers I'm actually running. Like this, I have it set to 8, but it's actually 100 here. Okay, so cool. Max retries per frame, 20. Max tries per frame. All right, we'll do that there. Now we need the distances. So we got distance to car, distance to caboose, and now we need the create and delete distance. Control C. And over here, Control V. That should give me the other two radiuses, which appear to be in good order right now. These ones use colors to mark out the two areas that we need. So that draws the radius. So if I have this selected, I can see where those boundaries are and debug it. Make sure that I can actually tell what's going on. All right, so I've got this stuff. What else is going on here? Because that one's unhappy. We return a traffic car when we create this. So we're going to do return car. My C button wasn't working. I just have this strange sense that I should end a line instead of with a semicolon, but with a dot, with a period. Kind of makes me question like why code didn't get into that model to begin with and then use something like dash or comma instead. Not a big deal, not a major concern, just it's a mental model that would carry over from writing. Okay, delete radius, create radius. Inside of this one. All right, so now inside of here, we're going to construct cars. This update, we've passed it into here. We're going to grab a car from active. This is for the ones that we're removing. Okay. And we're taking care of the pool removal at this line. This is the pool removal, or remove to pool. So we'll keep the set active inside of this one. That doesn't lose anything here. Okay. What am I comparing it to? Greater than delete radius. All right. Now in the next one, max tries per frame. If pool, we try, so we're going to try up to 20 times per frame. We check that in the for loop, and then we're just going to break out of it right away if the pool count is 0. Actually, I suppose I could just do, if pool count equals 0, return. We don't have anything else to do here. Get rid of the break. That one's not needed. All right. We can do the exact same thing here then too. All right, now we'll get rid of that line. In this case, I'll break both of these classes the same way. All right, so now what have we got? We delete the car. This is the delete radius. Okay, now we're down to here. If there is nothing in the pool, then we don't continue. But this time we want to generate them. So if we have pool items, then we continue. So in the pool. As far as comments go, a lot of times I like to add a comment right after an if statement that says the expected state of the code at this particular point. So now for each one of the times for the max tries, we do int R&D index equals, we're getting a random index from the number of traffic nodes available that it can go to. Nodes.length, what type of this is nodes? Nodes from baked traffic. Oh, this is grabbing one node randomly from anywhere within the world. We're going to check it and then see, we get the index and then we grab this one. This could be all in one line, but we're getting the node. And now we're going to check the distance to see if that's within the create radius. If it is, from the player car, and if it is, then we'll create it. We grab the car from the pool, the last one that's in the pool. So we're always just expanding it out and moving it back in. So we don't have to anything of like realigning memory as we go. Next, this.active add car, we remove it, then we set up the car, and then we activate the game object, which is also the last line of setup car now, right? No, it's not, but it should be. This one is car dot game object dot set active. True. Now in this one we return the car. Before we return the car, we need to say this was also setting up the car. Set up the car does more though. Set up the car sets up the prefabs to go with it. So I feel like some of these other things, well, we need some of the data to be set here. Okay, so var, we instantiate, let's go through the individual lines that we are doing when we create the car. All right, so create car, we get the index, we get the node that we're going to connect it to. All right. We don't need any of that right now. I think there may have been a loop issue that I was running into with the code here, that when I was generating this, the data, when it instantiates and it first runs its awake, so we instantiate, and by the time it moves to the next line, the awake has already executed. So if I go over to tractor code, where is the tractor code? There might be something in the awake function that is establishing things right away. And so if I don't, in this one where it's expecting that I would have, what? I wouldn't have any of this information set up by then anyway. So I'd be deactivating it before the start. All I need to do is instantiate it. We've got the node. We don't set anything until after awake. So awake has been executed. And next we get our traffic node. Now we tell the car to look at this. We tell the car its target index, its radius, previous index. I was just pulled in mentally to think about how close this is just getting to ECS and systems anyway. But I don't want to dive into ECS that much yet. I think ultimately, like the final response on this, once I get rid of rigid body altogether, that's going to be the one where I switch over to ECS. Like I've already done it where I switched off of that, but I kept running into design issues trying to get all the tooling to work. So I was able to get tests that were able to get performance with like 12,000 anti-gravity cars, but that was, I wasn't able to get the all of the tooling in place. And that's the big designer problem. But now this world actually solved it. I was thinking way too complex before. All right, so car.radius equals radius. We set that. We're setting the rest of this information, so we're telling it what to look at. This information needs to be called again, though. So we're trying to set what the targets are at this point. Okay. Do we do anything with n? We do. We pass in n. We know what n is here. So let's go Control X. We're going to grab that one, and that's going to become part of this. R&D index. Previous index equals R&D index. Where do I set this one? Okay, maybe I need this one to be make sure the previous index is set. And then this one, I don't manipulate the previous index. Target index becomes the previous index. Oh, yeah, that would be car.previous index equals car.target index. There, that sets the indexes. So I have to know where I came from so the car doesn't go up to a point and then immediately turn back, because then it just stops in like the middle of an intersection, turns around and goes back. And especially on straight lines and trucks, that would be obnoxious. It would stand out really quickly. Okay. Oh, the deletion. I need the deletion to also get rid of the connected elements. So inside of this, I end up instantiating this stuff, but I don't set a parent object because I don't want it to move with the parent. So when I construct these, or when I destroy these, I also need to destroy the additional items. I'm not doing anything special with these cars. So when I remove them, I remove it. I need to find those sub objects. Now I create a connector. So let's go car dot get component connector. This is not going to be that often, so I'm not too concerned about the performance expense. Plus, it's just looking it up from within that one game object. So we got truck connector dot truck car. All right. Var child 1 equals trailer 1. No, what is this one? This one is what did I call these? Caboose and trailer. All right, we'll go with that one. Trailer. Okay, next end var caboose equals car dot no equals trailer dot get component truck connector. All right, so we got those two items, and now these times when we delete these things, we actually need to destroy these elements. Destroy trailer and destroy caboose. And now when it reinstantiates, it's going to regenerate the new ones, rehook them up. So we got the trailer, it generates the connectors, sets the truck car reference to it. Yeah, we get the component from the truck connector from the original car. Or in this case, the truck. We add the connector, or we get the connector that already exists there, and we set the truck trailer. So it'll have a null reference for a little while, or when it's empty in the pool or dead in the pool. But when it comes back to active, then it should be good. Okay, so also in this, I had the active and deactive. I have pool and active. How am I using them? So here I'm adding to pool. When it comes out, I also need to get a list of the active ones. And technically, I don't. Yes, I do, because that's how I tell the distance. All right, so when I am destroying an object, let's go into here. We're destroying an object. Do we add it? Yeah, we change it from active to pool, or from pool to active. No, the other way around. We remove it from active and add it to pool. All right, and this one we're removing from pool and adding to active because it's now constructed and back in place. We call setup car, which is going to reconstruct that new data at the end. Now, this stuff does add all the child elements, and I don't call setup car in it. Okay, that's fine. We do set up the previous index that we needed. Oh, in this one, it's not previous index because when I construct the new one, it goes to collect the target index from what it used to look at. All right, let's do that one. Oh, it technically doesn't need it. All right, whatever. We're just going to say car dot. We'll see how this one works. I'm expecting the truck system might have some faults in there. However, they might even be hard to tell. We'll see. So we got the car. We're creating it. We're going to set this. We'll just set both of the IDs to be the same thing. Car dot target index equals R&D index. All right. Okay, back to the game. Let's see how trucks behave. Theoretically, trucks should be following me. Oh, let me go up to the truck traffic and see was there anything I needed. Player car. Yeah, I need player car reference now. That's this one. I'm going to name it player car. I've called it multiple times. I've referenced it as that. Player car. All right. We have no directional light because this is all artificial in the city. Back up to truck traffic. Pool count is 8. That's fine. We don't want as many trucks. Delete radius and create radius. What were the ones that I had on this? 200 and 150. Let's go to that. Where do we go? 200 and 150. Max tries per frame. Distance to car 8 and 18. I don't have that one. What is this? Oh, that's the trailer distance between the two items. What's going on? I just had them. Okay, that's not where that came from. Save it. Control S twice to save everything. Make sure the project is now fully saved. So depending on how this works, if it's good, I can save it back and then that'll effectively end trucks. Okay. Oh, what's that? We got an object reference on truck connector start, which is, whoa, hi. Uh, is that growing? That's growing. No, it's not growing. They're battling each other. Okay. I generate the cars. Wait, why would there be this many? Pause it. Okay. Check down here. That is a lot of trailer cars. Something is on a repeated loop of constructing these things. All right, let's see what's going on. Inside of here, we have pool of 8. The destruction is supposed to destroy them, but then we keep adding more of them every time we call to set up a car. When we set up the car, we create those and set them active. So it generates it. All right, let's clear this stuff out. Back to the code. Let's see what happens. During the awake, we call pool add and create car against pool count, which is, what's that initially set up as? It'd be nice if the pool count showed the value from up here or down here. So it's 8. All right, so that creates 8 cars and adds it to the pool. So it creates the car. Inside of here, we instantiate it. It doesn't do anything else with that instantiation yet, though. All right. So setup car has not been called. Now, let's go back over to the data. Inside of here, what have we got? Are we paused? Yes, we are. So we've got 8 items inside of here. Oh, how was cars doing? Cars looked like they were okay. I didn't have an overload of cars, and that theoretically would have gone much faster. But when setup car is generated, I destroy them when they do leave. But then they get constructed. So during the update, I do the construction, and yeah, we do setup car, and we set that part as active. When we destroy a piece, we get rid of the child elements in it. So this goes over to the pool. Here, let's get the distance on its own line here. I can probably get rid of this line. Let's just drag this over to this side. Player card, transform position. Inside of this, get component. Where is my data? That's here. Wow. So I got a couple of trucks that were being generated. Those were the only ones in radius of the car. So you can see the radius, like here's the radius of where it can create. And so if I hit Control Shift B, we're going to see that the data only shows up in those locations. So Control Shift B. Hey, no, select here, sure. Control Shift B. And the traffic designer, why do I have that? Oh, that's right. I switched it back over to get all the rest of the stuff. I don't need the traffic designer data in there right now. Let's switch this one back over to truck traffic. And there. So inside of this, we should have, do we have like one point? Yeah, right there. We've got a connection point right here. So they're all getting built around that. And then there's a connection point somewhere in here. Yeah, right there. That's in range. And so that's why all the trucks were trying to get generated there. However, once they got generated, it wasn't happy with that. It didn't think anything got generated. It didn't add it to the active pool. Is that correct? Pool has 8, active has none. Okay. So then this is never moving the items over? What's the state of the code that does that? All right, so over here, distance, this one is destroying the object. We're not in this one. We are in this one. The pool count, if there's nothing in the pool count, then we have nothing to restore. Now, we do have items in the pool, and we're going to try 20 times. Double checking that's what the values were. Max tries per frame, 20. Good. We get a random index within the total traffic nodes that are available. Which traffic are we using? Double check that setting. Truck traffic. Okay. And now we're going to get a distance from the random truck position that we just picked up compared to the random car, or to the car's position, and see if it's close enough. Now, if it is, we're going to grab the one from the pool. Okay. This is if it's less than the create radius. It does seem to be generating it. It calls the setup car function. And then we set it active. So we remove it from the pool and we set it active. Is something breaking down in this? Do I have a whole bunch of errors showing up? No. Referenced script is missing. What script? Okay, the reference script unknown on this behavior is missing. Wait, what behavior? You're not telling me what behavior. Okay, let's take a guess here that it has to do with truck traffic. Nothing is up there. Another possibility is this is being triggered somehow when I'm trying to get the components from the field. Oh, wait a second. Code update. It did a code update, so the data, this error state information might be broken right now. All right, so we call setup car. When we call setup car is getting a new random target. So the new random target is supposed to be something within range of us. The car's position. I don't set the car's position here. That's supposed to be end position. We need to generate a new traffic node within the range. But only if it's within range. Okay. Setup car is not doing that. Does that actually mean that if I were to go out and look at some of the other points here that we have other ones? No, there should be points all around there and there. So it only gets the ones that are within the create radius. car.transform.lookat n.node position traffic node index normal up. All right, so inside of this one, set car position. Oh, this one, it's using it. Oh wait, there's only one usage here. Okay, yeah, it doesn't call it up there. Instead, we call it down here in the update. So in this one, we've done the check. We've grabbed information. So yeah, we're doing the loop to try per frame to get a new node. Okay, so when we do this, we pass in the car, we set up the car with the new node. That means when we're setting up the car, we do need to establish its position. Okay, back to here. Back to here, where's here? Back to setup car. All right, so car.position, car.position, transform.position equals, and that one is going to be n.position. All right, and then we tell it to look at, and we're going to use the normal from the baked node, and we're going to tell it to look at the next random target traffic index. That's from the node, how many potential options it has to connect to. Oh, more lines. I suggest it worth it to read the errors when hit play. Sure, it throws something make debugging easier. Agreed. Okay, I suggest it worth to read the errors when hit play. Sure, it throws something make debugging easier. Okay. Yeah, well, anyway, we found the spot now, but sorry I didn't see that earlier. That was 5 minutes ago. Okay, so we now set the position of the car. That's correct. So the car, the front end of the car has been deactivated, and the trailer objects have been destroyed. Only the trailers. Yes, only the trailer object and caboose have been destroyed. That's only on the delete. Then we set the car and we reactivate it here. Let's try this again. The only other problem though is that we do get to call the setup car. Setup car is what instantiates the two child elements. And So those absolutely are getting instantiated. We see loads of them in the game. However, it's suggesting that maybe it's failing its delete radius check. That it's trying to delete the object and it's failing to delete the trailer or caboose. But those lines are in there. So in this case, let's consider that. We are checking distance. This is just for the active one, active eye. Oh yeah, we're checking each of the active ones to see if they're out of range of the car's position. Okay, fine. If that distance is greater than delete radius, then we delete it. That's correct, yes. So the car equals this active, and we pull it from I. Next, we take the pool and we add the car back to the pool. We remove the car from active, so it's just no longer there. We could also remove at I. Oh, I am restructuring the array in the middle of this loop. That's one odd pain point. I don't use I again though. So after I do this one, let's put an I minus minus to bring the count back, to bring the I back down a little bit. Now active is, it's a list. Okay. We'll to add remove. We set the car active is false. Yeah, when we're deleting it. Okay, let's try this again. I might need to put in some debug logs on this. However, the big thing that I need is the fact that setup car is getting called. Let's just double check this. Setup car F12 that has only one usage. This call right here. Maybe I had something else in my previous code before I came back. So let's just head back into here and see if the error is still happening. All right, let's see. Play. And pause. Okay, we are getting some errors right away from truck connector. All right, what is truck connector failing on? Truck connector at the start is expecting to get the access from the connector. So the connector has to be wired up before it gets re-enabled. But start shouldn't get fired until after the instantiation. I need to reset the child element all the way through this. Okay, so inside of here, I need to change this. So it's not at the start here. I am going to set the truck connector access so that we get the data that we need. Yeah. And on destroy truck connector, it gets rid of, why would we be destroying this and not destroying the game object? This whole line feels useless. Unless I'm just having a mind melt of some type. All right, so this is the line that's not getting connected up. There is a timing issue happening here. Cut, copy. Let's put that one here. And now that's happening on the truck connector. So I'll wire that one up then. So I'm going to take care of that on the factory. The factory handles it in setup car F12, and that happens after we get our connectors. So for this one, we connect this to the trailer. So we're going to say, what is this one? Truck connector. Is this car dot connector? Which one is that from? traffic car. Let's move you over here. That's not what I wanted. What's the truck connector? Thank you. That one. Okay, we're going to place that line back here to see what it looks like. Inside of this one, we have the truck car and the axis. Transform axis, the truck car connector equals axis. So that means that the car has something called connector. Oh, the get component connector, truck car dot connector. So truck car is truck car. And then the truck car has a child element called connector. So in that case, we get the truck connector. We already have it. So that one is connector dot axis equals, and in this case, we need it to be, what is axis? It is the truck connector dot transform. Okay. All right. Oh, this one. So we set up the axis, and that is so that this truck connector can hold a reference back to the parent. Oh, so it knows where the hinge joint is, basically. Now I need to do the same thing down here. Which should be similar to this now. Okay, connector.axis equals, and in this case, connector.truck car caboose, and in this one we get connector.axis equals connector.transform. Connector equals axis. What is truck car? So truck car is literally truck car. So what is truck car in our code? Oh, I'm using traffic car in the setup. Do I also have truck car in the code? And that's probably why the references are messed up. Okay, let's get back out of here. So over here, the truck traffic system uses traffic car. All right, over here, I do have a system called, or a vehicle type called truck car. And this is not reacting to the same thing, so game objects wouldn't exist. It wouldn't be able to instantiate. It's not the right item that's referenced. So in the truck car reference system, we're using a traffic car here, the prefab for the tractor. That's, nope, that's right. The truck car is the item behind. So the truck car connector, we get the truck car connector. It has a child element called axis. So we grab the truck car. The truck car is one of the trailers. That trailer wants to know the axis point, and that axis sits on the car that holds the truck connector. So a tractor, the front of it, holds the truck connector, has that point right at the front. And so it already has referenced the child element. I'm going to go over to the prefab for this one. Where is the prefab for? The prefab for this is reloading its domain. Okay, inside of this we got traffic car. I don't care about the truck car so much anymore, but let's go back to the game. All right, prefab, tractor, and now let's double click it. Okay, there's the tractor, and what's that line? Is this the axis? Okay, back anchor is right there. Okay, so I repeat, what on earth is this pink line? What are you doing? Oh, you're connecting to the child reference, which is probably in 0, 0, 0. So if I were to create a cube, for instance, create empty, I can't put anything else at the parent level. So let's just go 0, 0, 0. So that's how it gets over to there. But then over here we have negative 733. let's just copy the position, copy position. I'm going to go over to game object and let's set up paste position. Okay, that puts us over there, but if I change the negatives to positive, and the positive to negative, and also this positive to negative as well, that looks an awful lot like that. Yeah, the pink line, it's connecting it to 0. Cool. But that's, anyway, so we got the back anchor. Now back anchor is what our connector, truck connector, should be referencing. Yeah, it's referencing back anchor. Okay. So that ends up right at the back of the car. Here. We're done with that one. Now back into this. All right, now let's just step through this logically. First thing we do, we create the car, we add it to the pool. When we create the car, we are not calling setup car. We are instantiating this, but there's nothing about the truck itself that instantiates its trailers. Okay. So setup car doesn't get called there, but we do create the car and store it. However, we just instantiated it and we never marked that it's invisible or deactivated. So I'm going to say car.gameObject.setActive false. Then we return the car. All right, so at the create car, we add the pool at the beginning. All right. Now, when we deactivate, so over here we're deactivating it, we're going to take the car game object and set it to active false again. Cool. We add it to the pool. We remove it from active, so it's out of the game. Good. We're grabbing the car by looping through all the cars that are active and decrementing our setup in this. Oh, that's right. We're going through the cars. And in this case, oh, we are going negative. So in that case, the I nothing happens with the I. We don't subtract from I. We can safely remove elements because we'll just move back in index and it doesn't offset anything from that side. All right. In this case, we've decided that we have items sitting in the pool waiting to get added, which that does match the state. Next, we try per frame to grab a node. So we're going to grab a random node up to 20 times in a single frame, and we are going to try to add a truck to it. So in this one, we decide that one is here, whatever here we have, it is within the create radius, and this.car equals this.pool, the last element in the pool. We add the item to the active list, we remove it from the pool, and then we set up the car. So we take the car that we have and we set it up. And finally, we set the object to true, which setup car, that already has it set to true. So we don't need that line here. Delete. Okay, that looks good. The last part of this is the setup car itself. In the setup car, we take the traffic car and the node. So we have the traffic car. It is disabled at this point. And we receive the node. This is the node where it's supposed to be placed, and it is supposed to be pointing at the next node and select its next node. So we get a random node from a random index from within the available indexes for that node. And then we select the car position. All right. End.position. Next, we're going to look at the new target position. Oh, with this one, I'm not doing anything inside here that does a safety check for its previous position. which means that any point these cars can just turn around and go back. Am I doing that in the original one too? Traffic system. So over in traffic system in create car, we get the random position. Okay, so at any point, I've been intending to not allow the cars or any of the vehicles just to turn around on the spot, but all of them have this ability. Okay, because we're not checking previous index up here to see if this happens to equal the previous index. I'll come back to that. I'll be fine for now if that's in here. So we look at the next one, then we select our new target position. So for instantiation, we put the truck on the spot, we pointed it at the direction it needs to look at. That's just for instantiation. Okay, we set the target index to be the new index that we just acquired here. And then we get the car radius. Okay, wait, the car.radius equals radius. We set the radius to match how far away from these points it can actually decide. All right, next we have trailer instantiate. We create the trailer. We tell it to, when we move it back from the trailer. And then we tell it to look at it. Okay, good. Next, we create the connector. We've got the axes setting the connector transforms. Connector.axis is already set. No, something here. Truck car.connector equals axis. That's what I'm doing wrong. Okay, got it. Connector.truckcar. Oh, which is the trailer. So trailer dot connector equals connector dot axis. Okay, and then that same line is going to be over here. So that's caboose dot connector equals connector dot axis. Okay, so that instantiation lines all appear to be correct, but I'm still suspecting I'm going to get a weird pileup of all these cars. And what? This is a lovely exception. The referenced script unknown on this behavior is missing. Which behavior? No idea. It doesn't know. But it sure has a lot of those ones coming up. Let's minimize zone Z's. E, F. Traffic car. Oh, the game's still running. I was wondering why there were so many traffic cars instances sitting in here. I thought something was broken there. All right. Save everything. Play. And I need to call it a night. So functional or not, I'm not getting a lot of errors. That's a good start. I am getting a buildup of these cars though. So now is the perfect time to do one extra check before I go to sleep for the night. Vigilante play traffic system. Let's put a check in here. I want to see what's happening with setup car. We're going to make sure that one's in there because we do have the tractors. Those should be in there. Oh, and it's this code over here that seems like it's in the faulty state. This is where we call setup car. So let's also get rid of this one. I can step into that. And now let's go over here, attach to Unity Editor. Okay, it's connected. And now we're going to play. Yay, okay. So at this point, it means that we found a connection. We've got this.car. Let's go back over to Unity for a second. Oh, I can't see Unity. Show me Unity. Oh, I really wish that I can select, you know what? I'm going to disconnect for a second. I can select what I need. Stop. And then over here, I need the data for truck traffic. Active. Everything's active. It just instantiated all of them. It's still instantiating them though. Or are they just overlapping? Ah, where's my gravity? Oh, there. Where did you send me? Okay. I got a pile of cars. They're all instantiating there. That means my instantiation rate is too high. Stop. Okay, this is good. One. Tries per frame. One. And also the radius of where I can create them. I should expand this one because there's much less that's going to be inside of this one. Okay, let's do that. So one per frame, and we're going to widen up the radius to say 800 and set the create radius to 600. Cool. And play. I think that's trucks are finished. I'll double check this. So the radius should be wide enough now that I'll get the trucks generated all around here. Let's go to start and let's go to scene view. I can see multiple sets of trucks here. Let's go to truck traffic. Too wide right now to see where's my circle. There's the circle radius. So it can put a truck anywhere inside of here. And I can see trucks over there and there. There's a couple up there. Okay, the trucks are getting generated. That works. Okay, pause. No, not pause. Return to play. Game. Okay. Inside of here, enter. Impulse. Let's buy a couple extra and give myself some more speed. Okay. Z impulse. All right. Next Z. What do we have? Down pressure. There. And gravity force. Z. 20. Last one, let's go up to impulse torque. All right, now ZZ. That's all saved. That's a little too fast. Yeah, I need the camera physics on this thing as well. Anyway, impulse drive, we're going to reduce this to 20. Control S, no, Z. It's still pretty fast. Oh yeah, and this force, I can really like slam into things now. I want to check that. Whoa. Okay. There. There are cars down here too. Okay, that does have bridge access all the way up. Got trucks. That truck is way out of position. I wonder what happened there. Whatever the case, let's see if we find some trucks. Trucks, yeah, just passing through. Nice. Got one over there. Got a couple down there. Now I should have trucks up ahead too. I do. Yay. Whoa, several. All right. Okay, I'm happy with this. Stop. Trucks are done. Trucks are done. Yes. Okay. Um, is this all saved? Yes, the scene is saved. Good. Okay. Git commit dash M. Trucks are done for initial release anyway. Git push. Okay. Trucks are done. What do I have after this one? Just so I have the right mental process to think about overnight. We don't need that one. I do need Asana. Where are you? There we go. Trucks, trucks, trucks. Goes to done. Okay, I do have one physics system to put in here. Right now, the cars still have their interactive directions. So if I go over to the car, let's go to player car. These lines indicate its physics detection. Its entire physics system is wrapped into them. So basically, if a car is sitting right here, it can't see it at all. And then all of a sudden, the movements adjust, and now it's just like right here. It crosses just a little bit into this line, and all of a sudden, it's like halfway into the car's physics system. And so that's why we get these jarring motions from it. With what I want to do is I want to do a detection to see which cars are close to me, for both trucks and for active trucks and active cars. And so that'll do a detection against them to see how close they are. And then as long as I'll just do a basic physics movement to push the car out of the way at that point. I think from the engine, I should probably do it from each engine against the car. Okay, I'll do one check initially to tell whether or not the car is close enough to even bother with it. I'll use a magnitude check against that one, a square magnitude check to see if it's within range. Then, if that's within range, I will do a detection from each engine at that point to say, what is the distance from it? And based on that, it'll take the direct normal, the difference between the two positions, and apply it directly to that engine, or from the engine to the other car. I will ignore the concept of the car shape, the traffic car shape, or the truck's shape. So this will be more like a softer curve push around. So it kind of is this bubble to drive the extra car around it. That will work better. I'll have a radius based on pressure. It'll be the exact same mentality as here, but it's going to be an intelligent direction for the raycast. And it's not even using a raycast. This one's just using, I'll get the difference between the 2 points. Excellent. Okay, so in that case, let's throw a couple notes in there. Going to this so I don't forget what they were. All right. See you soon, man. All right, so inside of this one, let's add those notes. Traffic, check min distance to car overall only against active truck slash car truck caboose slash trailer as well. Upgrade truck to hold quick references to trailer slash caboose. Okay. Connector. the connector should hold a reference. And so I'll wire that reference in. Use connector for it. Because connector starts on the parent car and it's the child car that connects to it. It just doesn't hold a direct reference to that, and I should just add one in there. Okay, the next thing now, if within range, comma, check distance on each from each engine to the traffic / truck main point. Apply same physics practice against it. I can feel the difference of the two physics engines. So I'm struggling with this one. I feel like I should add more interaction points on this for dealing with collisions with the buildings. Or maybe I should just extend the fronts out a bit. If I extend them out, then all of a sudden I get trouble when I'm going through these areas. That makes the car want to tip up. Maybe just the front. If I can extend just the front out and not get this corner back in a bit, that'll probably align it better. Okay. Align physics. What is that one? That one is ZX. Align ZX corner and ZXY corner to have a shorter distance. Okay. So we'll shrink these two down so this operates more like a sphere or even just a triangle wedge here. Okay. I think that would be good, or that would effectively work. Why does this one have a power of 0 when it's halfway embedded in the surface? But then this one does not. Yeah, there's something wrong with that. Oh, wait, I'm not even running. This is on dead data at the moment. Whatever. I've got this stuff saved. I've got that checked in. Comment. That's work for tomorrow. See you.